the people for her. What was people's reaction after?
Baton. Janae Norman here with the story. Good morning, Janae.
Hey, George, this is a crazy video that you have to see. It's unimaginable, unsportsmanlike conduct on the track. This morning, a high school track star is still recovering nearly a week after being hit on the head by another runner during a race. Junior Kaylin Tucker was running the second leg of the 4x200 relay in the Virginia State High School League Championships when the shocking incident happened.
That's when she hit me with the baton.
Watch again as you see the two sprinters running side by side as they round the corner with Kaylin on the outside, Kaylin's mother cheering her on. Just as Kaylin is passing the other runner, the athlete swings her baton, striking Kaylin.
I just felt a bang on my head, and then I fell off the track immediately.
Kaylin dropping her baton and reaching for her head.
The whole Coliseum pretty much gasped. I just jumped up out of the bleachers immediately and ran to her on the main floor.
The 16-year-old was later diagnosed with a concussion. The family says neither the athlete who struck Kaylin nor the other team's coaches checked on Kaylin or reached out afterwards.
To see that they kept running and she not stop and check on my daughter, that was the part where I was like, it couldn't have been an accident.
The other runner, who attends IC Norcom High School, has not been named. Kaylin's parents say Norcom's athletic director and the girl's father apologized in a phone call, but they're still waiting for the opposing athlete and her coaches to reach out.
We definitely want the coaches and a personal apology from the actual athlete as well, because it's only right.
Now, I know this is going to be tough, but, if in your words, can you kind of describe what happened as you were coming through 4 there when the incident happened?
So on the back curve, I had kind of got cut off, and I tried to pass it the first time. So I let her go ahead. So I knew, like, when I got fully on the curve, that I was just going to have to push through and pass her. So as we were coming up in the middle of the curve, we were bumping arms a lot. So I got a little bit more on the outside of the curve to go around her. When I finally pushed through to get in front of her, that's when she hit me in the head with the baton.
And the bumping of arms, that's pretty common for a race when you're racing alongside
yeah.
Them, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she hits you and you go down. I mean, first of all, just what's your immediate reaction? What can you remember?
I was so in disbelief. I didn't even know. Like, I didn't know what happened. I just got hit in the head and I just fell off the track.
I know that's tough, and I'm sorry. First of all, I hope you're okay. We'll talk about that in a second. Mom, I know I've seen your video, amongst others. Coach McKinley gave that to me. What are you thinking? First of all, as she's coming through the turn, how is she looking to you as someone who's probably seen her run a lot?
Oh, yes, but like she stated, she is a second leg, and we're used to watching her just pick up where there's any slack. So as she was coming through the curve, I was like, I told my husband, I said, she's doing what she do. She's going to be all right. They're going to get back where they need to be. And as she's coming around the curve, as she comes out the curve, and you can see them kind of bumping each other, but like that's competition, so we expected that. But as she pulled away, just to see the strike, it just, even in our whole section, like the whole section just gasped. We had family come from out of town. Her godparents were here from Myrtle Beach and things, and everybody just gasped because they couldn't believe it. And then when I just saw her go down, all I could do was just run out of the bleachers. I just knew I had to get to her.
So you came out of the bleachers?
I did.
Okay.
Yes.
What was it like when you got on the track when you were talking to her?
Oh, when I got on the track, the medic had already been there and asked her if she could stand and kind of like walking off to see if she was going to be dizzy or anything. She never completely passed out, just kind of fell off the track. And then, of course, like she said, she was in disbelief. So she was kind of hysterical because she just couldn't believe that's what had happened. So
you come off the track, first of all, so you're getting evaluated by the medical staff. Did anybody from the opposition apologize, make any sort of checks on you, anything like that?
No, not at the time. No one that came on checked on me or anything.
Their side. Tonight, a Portsmouth family says they're telling their side of the story in reference to a shocking incident at a Virginia High School League indoor track meet that left one athlete allegedly injured after she claimed she was struck by a baton held by IC Norcom High School senior Alayla Everett. Everett spoke exclusively to 10 on Your Side's Markeisha Jackson, who brings us much more.
The young athlete in question says there's more to that video than meets the eye.
Everybody has feelings. So you're physically hurt, but you're not thinking of my mental, right?
Alayla Everett is a decorated athlete and senior at IC Norcom High School. She would have never thought her trip to the Class 3 track and field state finals last Tuesday would take a drastic turn.
They're going off of one angle.
Alayla visibly emotional because of this video from the meet. This was a 4x200 meter relay race, and she and a Brookville High School athlete were rounding a curve on the track when they nearly collided with each other.
Okay, after a couple times hitting her, my baton got stuck behind her back like this, and it rolled up her back. I lost my balance, and when I pumped my arms again, she got hit.
It appears intentional, but Alayla says it was accidental.
But I know my intentions, and I would never hit somebody on purpose. I didn't have to see a first video, second video, 10th video. I know 100% that she won't do this to nobody.
Her parents outraged at the backlash. The IC Norcom relay team was disqualified, a ruling that a local USA track and field official finds questionable. He says a play-by-play look shows that the Brookville athlete was running closely to Alayla.
If a person comes up on the outside, they got to be a full stride ahead of me before they can cut in front of me.
The other family spoke with the news station in Roanoke asking for an apology from Alayla, something she wants to give, but she says the other athlete hasn't been receptive, blocking her on social media, and instead the Everett family was served with court papers.
And now we have to go to a city 3 hours away that everybody hates our guts already.
They're assuming my character, calling me ghetto, racist slurs, death threats, all of this just because of a 9-second video.
VHSL says they are still reviewing the situation, and Portsmouth Public Schools says they will support whatever ruling comes from the league. Markeisha Jackson, 10 on your side.
This the Let's Get To It show. And that's a tour with a you, because I always got you in mind. So if you don't mind, let me break it down for you. Because you ain't never heard nothing like this before. And at the end of the day, it's all for you. It's really all for you. And I am King Sam the Powerful, the biggest hater this side of Texas. I talk reckless. So if you want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Matter of fact, y'all can't handle the truth. Court is in session. Yo, we got some good topics. Matter of fact, I'm just going to deal with one topic. I was going to get on it last week. But it was a lot. It was a lot of stuff still coming in. So I ain't want to, I guess, jump into it without the follow-up. And you know what? The internet world is undefeated. YouTube is undefeated, y'all. It's undefeated. And the reason I'm going to say it's undefeated because you had people getting to the bottom of this case. And what the case is, the high school track star, they hit the other girl in the head when she was about to pass her, you know. Myself, I had my own personal opinions of it, but they kind of swayed back and forth because it was a lot of complexities involved, a lot. And I just want to take y'all through it, you know. You had the dynamics of the girl, you know, people out there trying to win public and sway public opinion. Then, you know, you had a lot of tears and people was kind of, you know, they ain't know what was going on. Next thing you know, the tape came out. Footage of the incident actually came out. So it was like, let's run through it. Let's run through it. First of all, you had, I'm from Virginia, so you had a track star. You know, I think she's 18 years old, if not younger. She from the Portsmouth area. I think she goes to IC Norcom. And she was running track. And the first thing I seen was a small clip, really inconclusive of the incident. And you had on our TV, it was Wavy TV 10. You know, they did a slight demonstration, an interview of her. And she was like, you know, my feet was tangled up and we was bumping. I got tripped, like I got hit a little bit and it caused me to do like a weird movement. And being that I didn't see the incident in full, I kind of leaned towards what she was saying. She home team. And I was like, okay. And that's like, that's the strength of media and getting your story out there first and starting a narrative. When people don't got all the information, all they got is what you go by. Like all you say is all they got. That's all they got to go by. So it was like, I ain't know, but I ain't the type, you know, I try not to pass judgment too quick without getting all my facts gathered up. So, you know, the second thing, you know, they came out with another round of interviews. This time it was the family of the assailant and also the family of the alleged victim. So, you know, they was like, man, we tried to apologize and reach out to her and we were blocked. So we couldn't do that. And the other family, you know, they really wasn't saying too much, I guess, on this side because they not from this area. So they may have been saying something, but we just couldn't. They not our local news. I think they from somewhere close to the Lynchburg area. I want to say Gates County or something like that. But the family was like, man, we get served with this notice. So upon a little bit of digging and deep diving, I wind up coming across different angles of the footage. And from what I seen, it was kind of shocking because, based on what I heard in the initial reports, my mind was kind of swayed a little bit. Sometimes you see what you don't see based on what your mind already formulate. So, I'm sitting there watching it. I see the incident and I see a little bit of like a jostling type motion. I really can't make sense of it, but in my mind it was already factored in that, they were struggling for position. And I seen a little bit of movement and like a little head pop. And I couldn't make out whether it was a full swing or it just seemed like, it was kind of grainy and like a little. So she was like, I didn't do that on purpose. And crying, her mother said, I don't need to see all the incidents. I 100% believe in my daughter. And she was all extra emotional. And I was like, it was compelling. It was compelling. So like I said, the more that this circulated and stayed alive, the more people did they digging and diving. Like you had people that actually sat out there, and I guess I don't know if they use AI technology, but they actually read the lips of what she was saying, and like it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. And then I seen more angles. Myself, I run track. I in high school I did the 110 hurdles. I did the 4x4, and I think I did the 400 meters from time to time. I wasn't the best. I was better at hurdles. I had long legs, so it helped me out a little bit. I didn't fall on the hurdles much. But I did it. What was I? I did the 110, and I think the 330 hurdles, the 4x4, and sometimes the 400. Just depends. And like I said, I wasn't the best. I wasn't stellar. I was a little bit above average. A little bit above average. I was doing it in lieu of football. Our coach at the time was Tommy Reeman when I was going to Ferguson. He was suggesting, y'all work on y'all speed. Y'all come on to the track team. He happened to be the track coach as well. So, most of us that was trying to curry some favor with the coach who wound up running track. I know I was one of them. I'm saying, look, coach, put me in the game, coach. You see, I ran track. You say ran track, I ran track. Put me in the game, coach. I'm ready to play now. So, it worked. It worked because I was seeing more playing time that next year. But, in my years of running track, I did the pin relays and stuff like that. I've never seen anybody strike anyone on the head with a baton. Never. Never, 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 never. I seen jostling. I seen people bumping each other. I also seen people tripping up on each other, people falling, people bumping and brute. Like, you see all that, but I've never seen nobody strike somebody on the head with a baton. So when I seen that, it was kind of out of place. I never seen that before. And like it wasn't like I didn't participate in track. I know the rules of engagement. And they had one, I don't know if he was some sort of officiator. I don't know if he was a family friend or not, but he was saying the rules clearly state you can't, get in front of somebody. You can't pass somebody unless you're a full stride ahead of him. Like I said, I ran track. I've never heard of that. And when I thought about it, I'm like, a full stride? Like, in sports, what is a full stride? Like, I'm 6'4". My stride wouldn't be the same as somebody who's 5'3". So, like, what is the clear definition of a full stride? Like, that doesn't make sense. And like I said, people, they bumping arms and almost clipping each other up, trying to get position. Especially something like the 4x4 or, relay races or any race where it's like more than that first lap. Because once you start out in a certain lane, but then once you get past the first lap or so, you get to, try to get that first lane, which is the faster lane. The inside track is less distance than the outside. So, people trying to go ahead and fight for that position on the inside. Sometimes, people are moved a little bit closer to you to force you to have to exert more energy in hopes that you will give up if you're faster than them. People try to use strategic advantages against you when they know you're trying to pass them. They can hear them footsteps coming. They could, you can almost hear somebody breathing when they coming behind you. And from what it looked like when I seen the footage, it even had reference to the other racer that was ahead of him, that was in the center of the lane. And the girl that's from Portsmouth, that is the assailant, she started off in the center of the lane. And she claimed that the other girl had cut her off. But when I seen the footage, I didn't even see indications of the girl trying to, I don't think she got to the point where she had got in front of her and cut her off. Because as she was coming and closing the gap, the girl from Portsmouth, the assailant, started edging her way to the outside of the lane, causing her competitor to, I guess, spread out a little bit more, work a little bit harder. And the girl overtook her and passed her. And I think they may have rubbed shoulders a little bit, but I can't say that's fully due to her competitor from Gates County. That young girl, she was running harder and faster. And when she passed her, you see the arm draw back and you see her look towards the back of her challenger and swing down in a sideways swinging motion. And it's like, once I seen all that, I'm like, if you hit somebody, you hit them. Things like that do happen. But at the same time, when you intentionally or inadvertently hit someone and you're not boxing and wrestling and it's a non-contact sport, at what point do you say, or do you, at some point you should say, my bad, I messed up, my bad, even if it was inadvertent. And that's why, when I looked at the whole situation in total, I didn't see that side. I think the father had reached out and he was saying, he apologized for his daughter and stuff like that. But at that point, I think it may have been, I don't know for sure, but I think it may have been too late, because I think they were trying to get an apology from the girl herself, because she's the one who did this. And, sometimes you try to cover for your kids. And a lot of times people want to hear your child. They want to hear the people that actually offended apologize. And as I was thinking, I said, man, even if it was a mistake, as you claim, when you seen her fall, you hit her. You hit her. Even in her recap of the events that happened, she said, the girl passed and bumped her and she hit her a little bit, and then the baton got caught up in her head and she wound up hitting her on the head by mistake. But she passed you. You even had to slow down a little bit and look at her so you don't trip over her. You hit her. Why would you not, what was the compassion? Where's the compassion for the person that you hit, whether it was intentional or unintentional? Where's the compassion? Where's the humanity for you to be like, oh man, I did this. Even though by mistake I did it. I played all type of sports. I played basketball, and sometimes you foul somebody a little bit hard. You be like, oh, my bad. I ain't mean that. You stop. You stop. You don't just keep going on with the game. You stop because something bigger than the game just happened. And that's why I say this was never addressed. All I heard was somebody trying to defend themselves, create a narrative. And I think the mother or the father, no, matter of fact, it was the father. It was the family friend. The officiator said, we trying to gain public opinion because that's what counts. And I'm like, what in the world this got to do with anything? Where's the my bads at? Where's the I'm sorry's at? Where's the compassion? Where's the accountability? Because even if you didn't do it on purpose, you did it. Why wouldn't you sit there and say my bad? It don't cost nothing to say my bad. That's free. That's free for free. It's free to say my bad. Sometimes you leave yourself vulnerable when you apologize, but that's a part of life. When you overstep boundaries, when you out of pocket, sometimes you got to be man or woman enough to say, my bad. I'm sorry. What can I do to make it right? What can I do to make it right? And in all the interactions that I seen from the young lady from Portsmouth, I never heard her say, what can I do to make it right? I even heard her say, y'all thinking about her physical pain, but ain't nobody thinking about my mental. I never heard, I apologize, and what can I do to make it right? My bad. That's on me. You know, I would even say, don't blame my heart. You know what I mean? Don't blame my heart. You know, that was something that just happened. It just happened. And like, if I could take it back, I would. But instead, you get all types of defense mechanisms. Her mama even said something, I'm staying 10 toes down for my baby. And it just got me thinking, because last week I took her to the barbershop talk. And nobody in there was side with that type of behavior where it wasn't no accountability. You even had dudes to be like, man, I teach my peoples better than I teach my kids better than that. And I would hope they respond better than that. And if they was on the opposite side of it, I wouldn't stand with them. That was the majority consensus when I went to the barbershop. But it's mostly men in the barbershop. And as you know, as I stated earlier, the father, he did reach out and make an apology. I wonder if the mother did. The daughter said she tried to friend the girl. And I'm like, is that reaching out if you try to add somebody as a friend on your Instagram and social media? And she claimed the girl blocked her, but I don't know if that's explicitly true, because, you know, I got people that I try to add as friends, and I don't think they block me just because they ain't accept my friend request. So it's like, I don't know. To me, it just seemed a little bit far-fetched, the storyline. And I think it was a little bit much. I thought it was a little bit much. I didn't agree with it. But then I looked at other situations, and this what got my mind spinning. And I say, you know what? I'm just looking at it from a outside in perspective, and it's like maybe that's not right, because I thought about it. I even thought about like the 50 Cent situation. How, you know, matter of fact, I'm gonna take it back to the LeBron situation with the Stephen A. Smith. Oh, matter of fact, I'm gonna take it back. It was a situation. What was this at? I think it was in Texas. I don't know the name. I wound up pulling it up with my friend. He did a little bit of research for me. Mario Button, that's Button Boulevard on the stoop. You know, he got his own song thing, and like we kind of come together and talk about some of the little topics I would like to go over. So, you know, let me do something right quick before I go any further. Let me do something right quick. Let me see what that do. I just wanted to take that off. It was on max strength, but I wanted to take that off and see if it did something. It's a little bit of light. I'm just checking on the light, y'all, because it ain't. I think it look good to me. Let me see some. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I was just checking the light, y'all. Got this new lighting effect going on in here. You know, with the hue. Well, I ain't gonna tell y'all nothing. I ain't gonna tell you nothing. I ain't gonna tell you, but I got the blinds pulled back, so there's a lot of sunlight. Right now, we got this, you know, this beautiful weather in Virginia, man. If y'all don't know about it, y'all need to come out here and find out about it. But yeah, let's take it back to that story out in Texas. This guy, he ran into like a restaurant and started robbing people. Very aggressive. I think he had a firearm on him. Very aggressive. And he had robbed, I think it was like 3 families in there. He was jumping around, screaming, holding people at gunpoint, snapping. When I seen the footage, I was like, man, I could tell it was a terrifying event. You know, I've been robbed before. And, you know, you really don't have any power in the situation. You know, if you do what you want to do, you might wind up getting yourself killed. And just imagine you there with your family and you're feeling helpless. So he going from table to table robbing people. So he leave one table, and I think it's some Hispanics at this table. The guy, he showed bravery. He got up, he drew his firearm, and shot the guy down. At the time, I thought it was just one shot to the head, but you know, with the coverage that I watched, it was multiple shots. Boom, 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 multiple shots in the back. He finished the guy off. And I think he got self-defense because it was a robbery situation, and he did what he can to shut it down. he stopped the robbery in progress, and he defended himself. You know, because like I was saying, I've been robbed before, and there's nothing you really can do unless you really to just risk your life and kind of surrender your life, because you know it ain't like you going at it with somebody with their hands and feet. You know, you going at it with somebody with a firearm that in a quick flick of a finger, you could be out of there or you could be seriously injured. So, you know, he was going from table to table robbing people. I think he ran up to the register, and you know, when he was about to go to another person, it was a Hispanic gentleman that jumped up and drew his firearm and fired. Like I said, I thought it was one shot, but I think he continued to fire and, you know, hit the dude and put him down. He put him down. And it was like, man, he didn't get charged with the crime, because I think they was found that that was done in self-defense, because like I was saying, the guy, he was actually in like he was he was robbing them. He was robbing them. He was in the act. He was in the act of robbing them, and the guy wound up firing his firearm and killing the guy. And then his mom, you know, she came out and she was saying that, you know, he didn't have to kill my son. He didn't have to continue shooting him. And I was thinking to myself, like, if there ever was a time to shoot somebody down, getting robbed at gunpoint would be a time that you shoot. And like, do you stop shooting? Like, you know, I myself, I wouldn't stop shooting until I was for sure that the threat was neutralized, and you know, I might wind up just emptying my whole clip. You know, empty out my gun, because I don't want him to return fire, because it's not just me, it's also my children, my wife involved in the incident. So it was like, what do you mean he didn't have to? Like, what didn't have to happen was your son didn't have to come in there and rob that establishment with everybody in it, putting everybody's life in danger. But I don't think she seen that. All she seen was her baby. And that's what brings me to the situations like when I was thinking about the track incident, I thought about like anybody would defend their child. You know, anybody would come to the defense of their child and stand up for their child, or try to see their child through, especially if you see your kid in trouble. You know, that's the love of your life. And most people, their children are the love of their life. So it's like you do anything you can to make their life better or easier. And I can even remember when I was getting in trouble, who was there? My mama. Right there with me, defending me, coming to court with me, trying to get the judge and the courts to go lenient on me, writing in letters, trying to get people from the community to sign a petition, you know, being a character witness, doing what she could to support me. So when I looked at it from that point of view, I said to myself, are her parents wrong? Because that is their child. Like, people sound slick. They say what they, oh man, I'll be this and that. But if it's your child and they really going through this type of turmoil, like, you are their first line of defense and usually they last line of defense. So it's like, even if you look at the LeBron James situation, like LeBron James stood up and was toe to toe with Stephen A. because of a take that Stephen A. gave. And, you know, Stephen A. ain't, I wouldn't sit there and say he my favorite on-air personality, but he didn't say too much wrong outside of what everybody else was saying, because I said it myself. Like LeBron James Jr., Bronny, at the time, like, he wasn't performing at an NBA level. He was looking like it was too much for him. He was looking nervous. He was looking like he couldn't handle the spotlight, and he wasn't performing. He was averaging 0, 0, 0, 0 down the whole stat sheet. He wasn't shooting. He was getting a lot of turnovers, and it was just like, man, like, are we supposed to act like we don't see what's going on? But, you know, as of late, I think he scored like 17 points or something like that. He been doing all right in the G League. So, but, you know, the bottom line, LeBron James got in Stephen A. face. And like a situation like that, you know, it ain't no fight. You know, you ain't go overboard, but that type of confrontation can always lead to something else. You know, I've seen people get themselves hurt and killed in those same situations. You and somebody face talking reckless, and maybe that person don't want to be talked reckless to that day, and he say something to you, and next thing you know, you got to react because you felt slighted and he felt slighted, and next, like, you thought it was just going to be a conversation or you straightening somebody else, and it just went to another level. You know, Stephen A was a little bit more professional. He said he had some steaks on the grill. He had big time contracts, and he was actually in there with some tycoons, some billionaires, and he didn't want to look like a savage. He didn't want to look uncivilized. Just to stand on 10 in front of LeBron James, who really, you know, when I look at the situation, I don't agree with hardly nothing Stephen A say. I think he a talking head for ESPN and people with money when they trying to get their points across, but I don't think he went overboard with Bronny. I think he handled that with kid's glove. And if you know you was to go to any barbershop and ask how LeBron was doing, man, people be like, man, you suck. He's stinking up the flow right now. So I ain't gonna sit here and say, you know, Stephen A said nothing wrong in that situation. You know. And I ain't knocking LeBron James because he ain't do like Will Smith. He ain't haul off and smack the man in the face. He ain't push on the man. He just said, man, you know, stop talking about my son. You don't went too far. I might have used some expletives, but he didn't go overboard. You know, sometimes you could go to the point of no return. He ain't go to that point. He just spoke his mind. And, you know, he ain't got no history of being egregious out here. He not no Antonio Brown or nothing like that. He ain't nobody who just, like, he ain't no Draymond Green or nothing like that, to where, you know, he just going off the deep end all the time. So, you know, I think Stephen A, you know, he apologized, but then as he thought about it, as I would have, he kind of, oh man, that man was dead wrong. And I got exactly where he was coming from, because I've been in situations to where in the heat of the moment, you like, man, what's going on? But then when you think about it, you be like, man, this man disrespected me, man. Man, you get to thinking about it, you wish you could have did something different. Sometimes you wish you would have snapped. You wish you would have snapped because you like, man, that man made me look crazy. Why he do that to me? Why he do that to me? But I was just pointing out, you know, that out to say that, like, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't defend their child? Who's to say that mother was wrong? She got a baby. That's her baby. And she see her baby, you know, she going through it right now. So when your baby going through it, as a parent, you got to come to the rescue. You got to come to the rescue. You got to. And, you know, you see it time and time again. The week before, prior to that, I went around asking guys, like, you know, would you defend yours? Yes, I would. You know, it was a majority consensus that people would defend their child. So, you know, sometimes people say what they'll do, but that don't necessarily mean they would do that in the heat of the moment. That's just, you know, that's just the civil thing to do. But, you know, I've seen people defend their children and sometimes their child be dead wrong. But as a parent, you know, if you're not protecting your kids, you're not stepping up to the plate for your kids, who will? And then I just went to the opposite end of the spectrum. I went to the opposite end of the spectrum and I looked at how 50 Cent doing his son. You know, 50 Cent really ain't got nothing to do with this situation, but, you know, it's way on the other end of the spectrum where, you know, 50 Cent's son is doing things that's against his father's, I say, you know, stream of thought. You know, he being a contrarian based on he probably was raised by his mama, and 50 Cent won't eye to eye, so they split up. So he raised by the mama. So 50 Cent there, for lack of better words, and cut the young man off because he going other. And, you know, that's a tough one because, you know, 50 Cent's son ain't no baby no more. But that is his son. He look just like him. So if, you know, you can forgive people that you beef with, why couldn't you, you know, forgive your family? Because I even got family issues. You know, we might not be seeing eye to eye, but there's definitely forgiveness in there. You know, I still got compassion. I still care. It's still a level of humanity there. But, you know, Fifth, you know, I don't know if he do it for TV or for perception, but he go hard. He said, that's his mama shine. That ain't my boy no more. But, you know, he ain't no little boy no more. I think he like 25 or older, maybe more. Might be like 28. So, you know, he look a little, but he ain't no boy no more. He's a grown man. And sometimes when you grown and you do grown things, then you got to go ahead and deal with the repercussions. So, you know, that's on the other end where he ain't making no excuses for his son. And he's holding him accountable. And, you know, you never know. The story ain't the chapter not closed on that. That's still an open book. So, you know, I ain't want to talk too long, but I did want to get this out because, you know, this was dealing with accountability. You know, the girl, she did hit someone on the head with a baton. And as a result, it was a concussion. She had a concussion. And I think they were saying her head was swole up. And matter of fact, I got to get back to that. I wanted to look that up, but I ain't do no follow-up because I went and got a haircut today. Guess what? I got my haircut today, y'all. At Elite's Pro Barber Shop right there on 368 Denby Boulevard. You got Eric. That's Big Nuke right there. He the one who cuts my hair. That's my barber right there. But then you got Ray in the second seat. And then in the back, you got Mook. That's Eric Jr., y'all. And they all in there, man. You know, you could just walk in. You ain't got to have appointments like at some barbershops. You got to set up an appointment and you ain't there on time. And then you SOL. Then you got, matter of fact, I forgot to give Connie a shout out because you got Connie in the back doing hair. Braids by Connie Capri. So you know what? That's 368 Denby Boulevard, Elite's Pro Barbershop, man. If y'all know anything and y'all in the Tower area, especially the Newport News area, uptown, close to Fort, use the Denby Boulevard area. That's 368 Denby Boulevard, man, where the vibes is all cool, TVs everywhere. And you know, it's a nice barbershop. You can't miss it. It's right across from the 7-Eleven. So, you know, I just wanted to get into that. Give y'all a little bit of something. But like I was saying, I got another topic I want to deal with. I'm gonna get into that. This week I talked to my sister, Julie, so that's Jewels. She up there, she said she doing good. Man, she living off well water, y'all. She taking it back to the essence. She said she trying to get some chickens. She got her own little house with her own little property going on. And she trying to get to the basics. She said she tired of living this modern life. She trying to take it back to the basics. Where she growing her own food, you know, raising her own food, her own chickens, and drinking well water. She tired of living this process life. I talked to her, let her know I love her. I got to reach out, talk to my brother Haywood, and probably call my moms up. You know, because it's like, family is all you got. And like I said, I got another topic, but I probably shoot that. I'm going to hit that up tomorrow. That's a whole different situation. But like I was saying, you know, it wasn't no accountability. And when she hit that girl on the head, she's still young. So, you know, you can't expect her to react or act in the proper fashion because she's still immature. She's 18 or less. So, you know, if she makes a mistake, you can still credit to her being young. Not saying she ain't old enough to know the difference and know how to do better, but it's a teachable moment. So, you know, when she hit that girl, she ain't had no accountability. She feel like everybody going against her. But sometimes you got to take it on the chin and say, my bad. I apologize. I'm sorry. I done did it plenty of times, and I swear you don't lose nothing. After you say I'm sorry, after you apologize, after you say my bad, life's still going on. You don't die. You don't lose nothing in that moment. People just, sometimes when you go ahead and throw that out there, people be like, man, no, it ain't nothing. And you know, you gain an ally, you gain a friend. But when you sit back and try to deny and defend and make it look like it ain't true, you get them enemies. People like, man, I know you didn't. That's because it's an insult. It's an insult like you playing on people's head. So, you know, with that, I'm about to get up out of here. And what I probably do is put these two podcasts together and make one, because somewhere mid, I think I was like 20, 30 minutes in. I don't know. I was in the mix of it and my audio gave out. So I'm about to be out of here. Again, y'all know what it is. It's the Let's Get To It podcast, and that's a tour with a U, because I always got you in mind. So if you don't mind, let me break it down for you, because you ain't never heard nothing like this before. And at the end of the day, it's all for you. It's really all for you. And y'all know I'm King Sam the Powerful, the biggest hater this side of Texas. I talk reckless. So if you want the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Matter of fact, y'all can't handle the truth. Court is adjourned.